Bolo Shri Ganesh and Bhagavan ki jai. All will stand and join together and sing in the arti. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Om Jaya Ganapati Deva. Prabhu Jai Ganapati Deva. Vighna Vinashana Swami. Vighna Vinashana Swami. Sukha Sampati Deva. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Parvati Putra Kahavo Shankar Sutta Swami. Prabhu Shankar Sutta Swami. Gajananda Gananaya. Gajananda Gananaya. Bhaktanayanugami. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Riddhi Siddhi Ke Malik. Moshak Yashavari. Prabhu Moshak Yashavari. Kar jore vinati kare. Kar jore Ananda Yusabhari. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Prathama aapko puja. Shubha Mangala Data. Prabhu Shubha Mangala Data. Siddhi hoye sab karaj. Siddhi hoye sab karaj. Daridra hat jata. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Sunda Sundala Dunda Dundala Mastak par chanda. Mastak par chanda. Karaj siddh karavo. Karaj siddh karavo. Kato sab panda. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Ganapati ji ki आरती जो कोई नर गावे. प्रभु जो कोई नर गावे. दारुक भावती. दारुक भावती. निश दिन सुख पावे. ओम जय गणपति देवा. जय गणपति देवा. प्रभु जय गणपति देवा. विघ्न विनाशन स्वामी. सुख संपत्ति देवा. ओम जय गणपति देवा. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव. त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव. त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव. त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की जय. उमापति महादेव की जय. सियापति रामचंद्र की जय. जगत जननी श्री दुर्गा माता की जय. बोलो सनातन धर्म की जय. Devotees, you may kindly take your seats. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Narayanang Namaskrityang Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Devotees, once again we all gathered here tonight to worship the Supreme Brahm in the form of Shri Ganesh. Before I commence reciting the Katha, I'll ask each and everyone to try to picture that beautiful form of Lord Ganesh in your minds as we chant these verses, which are dedicated to his worship. Om Masumukashtai Kadantashta Kapilo Gajakarnaka Lambodarashta Bikato Begnanasho Vinayaka Dhumraketur Ganajaksho Balachandro Gajanana Dvadashaitani Namani Yapate Tranno Yadapi Vidyarambi Vivahi Cha Praveshe Nirgame Tatha Sangrami Sankati Chaiva Viganatasya Najayati Shuklam Vardharam Devam Shashivaranam Chaturbhujam Prasanavadanam Jayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Abhipsitartha Siddhyartha Pujito Yasura Surei Sarva Viganaratasmai Ganadi Pataye Nama Shivatanai Varishtama Sarva Kalyana Murati Parashu Kamalahastama Shobhitam Modakena Arun Kusumamala Vyalaya Gyopavitam Mama Hriday Nivasam Shri Ganesham Namami Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Mama Prabha Aviganam Kurumideva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Biganeshwarai Varadai Surapriyaya Lambodarai Sakalai Jagadvitai Nagananai Shruti Yagya Vibhushitaya Gauri Sutai Gananat Namo Namaste Bhaktarti Nashana Parayai Ganeshwaraya Saraveshwarai Shubhadai Sureshwarai Vidyadharai Vikatai Chavamanaya Bhakta Prasanvaradai Namo Namaste Namaste Brahma Rupaya Vishnu Rupaya Te Namah Namaste Rudra Rupaya Kari Rupaya Te Namah Vishwarupa Swarupaya Namaste Brahmacharine Bhakti Priyaya Devaya Namastubhyam Vinayaka Lambodara Namatubhyam Satatam Modaka Priya Niraviganam Kuru Medeva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Avahanam Najanami Tavarchanam Pujamachaiva Najanami Shamasveti Ganeshwara. Bolo Shri Ganeshanda Bhagavan Ki Jai. Those who were present last night would recall we stopped where Lord Ganesh was explaining to Raja Varenya the concept of yoga. What is yoga? And the end product of yoga. Tonight we will do knowledge of karma, knowledge of action. But before we commence the katha, let us join together in chanting the Ganesh Stotram. Yato nanta shakterananta jiva Yato nirgunada prameya gunaste Yato bhakti sarva tridabheda bindam sadatam Ganesham bhajama Yatashva virase jagat sarva vetus Tatabjasano विश्वगोप्ता ततेन्द्र दयो दैत्य सन्नगा मनुष्या
सदा तं गणेशं नमामो भजामः
यतो वह्नि बाणो बभुर्भुजलन् च यतः सागरश्चन्द्रमा व्योम वायु यतः स्थावरा जङ्गमा वृक्षसङ्घा
सदा तं गणेशं नमामो भजामः
यतो दानवा किन्नरयक्षसन्ग्रा यतश्चारणा वारण श्वापदष्टा यतः पक्षिकीता यतो वीरगष्टा
सदा तं गणेशं नमामो भजामः
यतो बुद्धिराज्ञाननाशो मुमुक्षो यतै सम्पदो भक्तसन्तोषकस्यु यतो विघ्ननाशो यतः कार्यसिद्धि
सदा तं गणेशं नमामो भजामः
यत यत्र पुत्रसम्पद्यो वाञ्छितार्थो यतो भक्तिवेद्यस्तदानेकरूपा यः शोकमोहौ यत काम इव
सदा तं गणेशं नमामो भजामः
यतो नन्दशक्ते सघोषो बभूव धराधारणे नेकरूपो च शक्ता यतो नेकदा स्वर्गलोका हि नाना
सदा तं गणेशं नमामो भजामः
यतो वेदचो विकुण्ठतमनोभि सदा नेतिने तिथितायं गृह्णन्ति परब्रह्मरूपं चेदानन्दभूतम्
सदा तं गणेशं नमामो भजामः
यतो नन्दशक्तिरनन्तश्चजीवा यतो निर्गुणाद् प्रमेयाद् गुणस्ते यतो भाति सर्वा त्रिधा भेदभिन्नम्
सदा तं गणेशं नमामो भजामः
सदा तं गणेशं नमामो भजामः
सदा तं गणेशं नमामो भजामः
बोलो श्री गणेशंद भगवान की जय। वरेण्योवाच ज्ञाननिष्ठा कर्मनिष्ठा द्वयम् प्रोक्तं व्यथा विभो अवधार्या वदेकममे निःश्रेयसकरं तके। Listening to the glories of the Ganesh Gita, Raja Varenya starts to question Lord Ganesh. That you have explained to me what is called Gyan, what is called knowledge. Only to realize that there is nothing called knowledge. Because you're born with it. Everybody is born with knowledge. I don't think anybody has to teach a child not to run across the road. You don't have to teach a child that. He's born with that. So you're born with the knowledge. But what you have done to me is you have given me the Vigyan. Vigyan means the science behind the knowledge which you already know. That you have explained to me. And karma. But avadharya, vadekamame, these two parts, the part of knowledge and the part of action, nishreya sakaram tukim. Living in this world, I want to know which one is really beneficial to me. Lord Ganesh says, Asmishchara karoste tyau purukto dvayamaya priye Sankhyanam buddhi yogena Veda yogena karmanam. When this universe was created, O King, it depends on only two things. It depends upon knowledge and it depends upon action. Knowledge and action combined together in Bhagavad Gita is called Prakriti. If you go to chapter 9 of the Gita, it says, Prakritim samavashtabhya bisijami punaha punaha bhutagramami mama kritsam avashe prakriti shayat. That having created this universe, that is when my work finished. From that point, I become Sakshi. I become a witness. That's all. Nothing else. I only witness what takes place. And then the question was asked, if you are only a witness, then how does this world proceed? Prakritim samavashtabhya, because of prakriti, because of nature, because of knowledge, because of action. When knowledge and action combine together, it's called prakriti. And that is what causes the world to continuously move on. But if you live your whole life, O king, Sankhyanam Buddhi Yogena, if you spend your entire life only seeking gyan, knowledge, in the literal sense, all you will know is that which already exists in the scriptures. That's what the scriptures teach you, knowledge. Scriptures do not teach the science behind knowledge. If you go to the Ramayana, there's a format that is used when we do Ramayana. Kartik Magaya Chaitra Jab Aaye. When the month of Kartik reach, when the month of Magh reach, and when the month of Chait reach, those 3 months, October, basically October, December, and April, those 3 months. Navadina Katha Suneya Manalai. That is when you do Ramayana. That is when you do Ramayana. Kartik, Magh and Chait for 9 nights. It have nothing called 3-night yag and 5-night yag. I don't care what nobody tell me. I will die believing that they're stupid. And it have nobody could prove to me that they're smart. My fear and fight has always been the men who doing these 3-night and 4-night, they don't know it wrong. If you read in the Mahatma of the Gita, when you do things like that, you get absolutely nothing from it. So when you hear people saying, I offer in jal every day, and I'm praying every day, and I'm doing my jug, and I'm doing this, and it's still going wrong, you're just doing it wrong. If I connect my house for electricity and TNT can give me current, I could plug in anything I want, nothing will work. Nothing going to work no matter what you do. You could buy the biggest fridge and plug it in. Just like when I first started to learn computer. I'm pressing all the buttons, and I'm having a fun, exciting time. And then a light show up, bling. All right, you had enough fun. Now plug me in, dummy. You understand? You have to have a source. And if you cannot tap into the source, you get nothing for it. It is as simple as that. Same thing with the Ganesh Puran. It have no 3-night Ganesh Yag. It have no 5-night Ganesh Yag. It have no 7-night Ganesh Yag. One fellow tell me we're doing it for convenience. Really? Hope the day you die at a convenient time. It have no convenience in it. Everything is about a sacrifice. And the very next verse tells us why we make that sacrifice. That when you learn of the scriptures, the teachings come from Gyan, but then you have to implement that teaching. And that is karma. That is action. Knowing it is one thing, but you have to implement it after. And when you are able to implement it, then your buddhi, your intellect, becomes opened up. Then your mind remains pure. Sankhayam buddhi yogena veda yogena karmanam. Whatever karma, whatever actions you perform then, it's done with a pure mind. Anarambhanaya vedyanam nishakriya purushi bhavet tamasiddham yati santyagat kevalat karmano nripaha. You cannot want to renounce things in this world if you have not performed karma. You must first perform the karma, then realize that this is not for me. And then you stop doing it. But you have to do it first. He says, Nishkraya Purushi Bhavet. If you cannot perform karma, then you are unrealistic. You jump in the gun. You cannot jump the gun. That tam siddhi yati santyaha. If you discard karma, then what is called the siddha? What causes it to become successful? What causes it to become beneficial? You would lose that. Tadachet kriyakarupi kshanamanevavatishtate aswatantra prakritya jai gunaya karma chakaryate. He says, kadachit kriyakayopiha. Only when you perform karma, it brings a stability in the mind. That when you do it, and you sit back and you reflect, yes, I have done it to the best of my ability. The mind is at peace with it. If you cannot perform it with a stable mind, then you're in trouble. Kshanama vatishtate. Without performing karma, then you could never acquire the knowledge of the karma. When you perform the karma, you get to understand the knowledge behind it. Aswa tantra prakrite jai. Tantra, we'll deal with tantra just now. Gunai karma chakaryate. If you cannot perform karma, you will always sit down and think, but you know, I should do this, I should do this. But when you're ready to do it, the mind will say, you know what, leave that alone. You never do it. And the word tantra, you know what a tantra, right? And a yantra. You know the yantra? Right. Yantra and tantra are the same thing. A yantra, some of them will be square. They have all different shapes. There have a set of mantras on it, written on it all over. A tantra is like a computer chip. What's the purpose of a computer chip? Trust me, I know nothing about computer. So if I ask you that question, I'm genuinely asking you that. What is the purpose of a computer chip? Right. So it stores information, basically. That is what a tantra is. That is what a yantra is. It has all the information stored in it. If you know how to access that information, then everything reveals itself to you. So it's not simidimi. It's not hocus pocus. Karma karim driyamagramam kriyamayaste smarana puman tadago charan madamacheto digachara sabhashyati. When you perform karma, O king, the purpose of performing karma is to control the senses. Because if you're handling certain machines and your mind not in it, before you finish your job, you're going to cut out some fingers. You understand? You damage yourself. So the purpose is to bring the senses under control. Because the senses by nature seeks divine intervention in the life. Everybody seeks divine intervention in the life. But the mind is the one that seeks sensual or worldly enjoyments. And that is two deadly combinations. The two cannot mix. Such an individual, dikachara sabhashyati, is an enemy of himself. And such a life is dikachar. Dikachar means to be useless. They just live by guess. Karamendriyani sanyamya na asate manasa smaran indiyartan vidanamuda mitayachara sa uchati. That if you are in the mandir and your mind is in the club where they're playing all fours competition, that's a problem you have. And if you're in the club playing all fours, but your mind in the mandir, you have the same problem. Such an individual who cannot be in one place with his mind in the same place is called a muratma, a hypocrite. That if you're doing it for show business, you're being a hypocrite. Because the faster you realize there's only one person in the world that you cannot fool. You could fool everybody else. You can't fool God. There's no way in the world you could accomplish that. Tadagramam sanniyamayadav manasa karamachara bhet indriya vikarama yogamayo va trishna sa paro nripaha. When you perform swakarma, swakarma and swadharma means the same thing. Everybody is not cut out to be doctor. Everybody here cut out to be lawyer. Everybody here cut out to be criminal either. Nobody is born a criminal. Well, I hope so. Something triggers in you, and because you're not in control, you get driven in that direction. So he says, when you perform your duty, you must perform that duty with a certain amount of love, devotion, sincerity. You must be sincere about it. And if you are sincere about the duty which you perform, manasa karamachara bhet, it means that is what a karma yogi is. So when you give people titles, karma yogi, that is what a karma yogi is. And the benefits of the karma which he performs, he doesn't seek the benefit, but the benefits are there for him. I'll ask you a question. If you put $100,000 in the bank on a fixed deposit, do you use the interest? You cannot get the interest until the time is up. So the good that you have done is putting the $100,000 in the bank. Right? And then it builds interest, which is the benefits of the karma. The karma is the $100,000, the interest is the benefit. But you have to wait for it. It's always yours. Nobody's going to take that from you. In the same way, Indriyame karma yoga mayo vitrishna saparo nripaha. And that individual, vitrishna, without the desire, performs the karma. And performing the karma without the desire, he becomes the supreme one. He becomes the highest. Akaramana yashreshtatamam karamaneha kritam tuyat vashakaramastyatepyasya karamano naivasetshtati. And if you live long enough in the world, you're going to reach the age where you cannot perform karma. And when you cannot perform karma, where's your situation? It means that all the good that you have done in the past don't mean your last life. In the past mean from age 12 to the point where you cannot do karma. Right? In Bhagavad Gita it says, Traividyamam sompaputa papa yagyarishta swargatim prartayanti te punyam avasaja sunindalokam mashnanti devyandi videva bhogam. All the good that you have done leading up to that point, you will be rewarded for that good. And you'll be rewarded through when you depart from the world, you journey to the abode of the celestials. And it is there that all the good action that you have performed, you will be rewarded for it. He says, in the same way, when you reach that age, do not think of the karma that you have performed. Forget that, you already do it. Without karma, you cannot reach where you have reached now. Karma is what have you at this stage. So why would you now want to spend the rest of your life reflecting when you was 15, when you was 20, when you was 25? What are they going to do for you? Nothing, absolutely nothing. So reflecting on karma that you have performed gives you nothing in life. Forget what you have done. The point of not being able to perform karma, karamano naivasu yati, it means that the benefits of the karma that you have incurred causes you not to perish. You have already done enough for that. Asammarpya vidayante karamate na janamapi kuravita satatam karama nasho sango madarapanam. And the only way that you benefit from the performance of karma is by surrendering the karma to me. To me means the Supreme. If you believe in Lord Shiva, surrender the karma to Lord Shiva. If you believe in Ganesh, surrender the karma. And surrendering the karma for me indicates that kuruvita satatam karma, that you are not an individual who seeks the reward for karma that you have done. Nobody, well, a lot of people seek the reward for the karma they do. But if you're on the path of spirituality, then you don't do that. Offer all that you do in this world. Karamateja janamai. Offer every action that you perform. Do it in my name. In life, sange madarapanam. Sange means to associate. Madarapanam means with people who are hell-bent on evil. In every yuga, in every cycle, there were people who were destined to do evil. Go back in Satyuga. Hiranyaksh, Hiranyakashipu. In Treta, Ravan and Kumkaran. In Dwapar, Kans and Sisupal. In Kali Yuga, we leave out them. Who are the evil of Kali Yuga? We leave out them completely. We ain't going in that. But what the scriptures have said, that in Satyuga, good and evil exist. But they exist in two different planets. They never live in the same place. Wherever Hiranyakashipu was living, Narasingh had to come there and kill him. They live in two different planets. In Treta, they live on the same planet. In Dwapar Yuga, they live in the same country. Kans and Krishna lived in the same country. But in Kali Yuga, they live in the same house. That is the deadly one. They live in the same house. Madarape yati karamani tana nirabanti nakwachitaha sambasanna midam karama badanapno dehinam balat. Only when you surrender the karma, the action, to that Supreme Lord, only then you free yourself from bondage. And the bondage that is spoken about is the bondage of coming back into the cycle of birth and death. Yanti deva brata devan petri yanti petri brata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinopimam. And surrendering the karma to me, some people surrender the karma to the Devata that they worship. And Lord Krishna says that those who worship the Devatas, in the end, they become one with the Devata. Those who worship the ancestors, the Pitris, they will become Pitris. Those who worship evil will become evil. And those who surrender to the Supreme Brahman, in the end, they merge into the Supreme Brahman. Merging into the Supreme Brahman means you never come back into the cycle of birth and death. And when you dedicate that karma to that Supreme Lord, you escape. Tan badananti nakwachitaha. You escape from that bondage. Sava man midam karma. It is difficult, not impossible. It is difficult for one who performs karma for the sake of rewards. It is difficult for that person to escape from the bondage of birth and death. It's not impossible. It could happen. But he just had to be one of the lucky ones. Unfortunately, it has none so far in the world. It has none so far. I was listening to a program where an argument was taking place that if the Mahabharata war was 5,000 years ago, I don't know how they come up with that figure, then how old is the Ramayana? So they work it out. And said the Ramayana is just a few thousand years before that. And that's a universal acclaimed thing. Everybody agree with that. The sad thing is, that's not true either. I've always said that when you read the scriptures, there's something you have to look for. And what you look for is the science behind it. Forget what you read. What you read if you can't figure it out. Don't make sense. Have a Valmiki Ramayana home? I tell you what Valmiki Ramayana say. Have your phone on you? You have internet on it? Nice. Me and you going to talk. In Sundarkand of the Valmiki Ramayana, there is a verse. The 27th chapter, the 12th verse. I'm telling you where it is. When Hanuman entered into Lanka, he spent the whole time searching for Sita, which he never found. He never found Sita. Somebody tell him where Sita was. But he saw something strange. He saw the palace of Ravan. And the people who was guarding it was an elephant. An elephant with 4 tusks. It is called G-O-M, punch it in, G-O-M-P-H-O-T-H-E-R-E-S. Find it? That exists? Right. What the scientists have said, that elephant with 4 tusks existed 1.2 million years ago. So the Ramayana is not no 5,000-year-old book. The Ramayana alone is 1.2 million years old. And that Ramayana that we talk about is the 24th Ramayana. So 24 million years ago had all the Ramayana. And it had 2 yugs before that. By 24 is 48. By 24, by 72 million years, we account for. And according to the true history and religion of India, Hinduism is 155 trillion years old. When you calculate the 4 yugs, multiplied by 24, is 155 trillion years old. So this 5,000 years rubbish that you're preaching, 5,000 years ago in Kurukshetra, Krishna had nothing to do, so he got in a little small fight with Duryodhana. That is rubbish bigger than the dump heap. That is not true. It is millions of years old. But people cannot comprehend that. Let me explain something to you. When the Mughals invaded India, Islam was started in 700 and something. So them just born. They meet temples that were thousands of years old. And they are saying that if the world is 200 years old, according to them, how could a mandir exist 5,000 years now? They break down all. They burnt all the religious books in India. That is factual. That the Somnath temple has been destroyed so much times. And what is unique about the destruction of the Somnath temple, every time it was rebuilt, the last time that temple was rebuilt, there is a slab of stone in it. In front of the Shiva Lingam, there's a stone. Some scientists have said it is not man-made. Some have said it is man-made. They break up that stone too. And what was unique about that stone, it had 2 footprints on it. They break it up. And man go and build back the stone. He cannot put back that footprint. And the day that Somnath Mandir was opened, the footprint was there. Where it come from? Where it come from? It's one of the most unique things about the Jyotirlingam. The one is in Somnath temple. So these things are not make-believe. Don't buy into this story about Sanatan Dharma is 5,000 years old. Don't buy into that story. That is not even true. The Ramayana itself tells you that is not true. The Ramayana tells you that Hanuman came across this elephant with 4 tusks. And the scientists have said, I give you the name of how they call the elephant. That elephant existed 1.2 million years ago. They went extinct. So he didn't see the last one, but they went out of existence 1.2 million years ago. So maybe add another 1.2 million to that, and that is how old the Valmiki Ramayana is in for Kali Yuga. And that happened 24 times. So if you do not understand that without karma, you're going to have no success, because karma will not give you knowledge. Knowledge will not give you the science. And if you don't have the karma, you don't have the knowledge, and you don't have the science, then you're spinning top in mud. You spinning top in mud. You know how many times I've said to people, when you offer jal, how you offer jal. One of the most frightening things going to happen next week. People are going to call me all the time next week. Bob, where's the water to say to throw when you're throwing water for the ancestors? I see all that to say, Mom and Dad, here what's going on. Only make a real donkey for our son. Hard luck. That's what you need to say because you have to be a donkey. You don't throw nothing for them. You throw things for dog to eat. They cannot even say, what is the mantra to offer? They can't use the word offer because their whole life they offer nothing. Your whole life you offer nothing, and then for Pitri you want to offer for Pitri. You understand? So that word offer is a novelty for you. You can't even say it. So he says, don't live a useless life. Asamarapyani badanante karamate na janamapi koravita satatama karama nasho sango madarapanam. By not surrendering that karma to me leads you to bondage. It leads you to pain. It leads you to suffering. Why you, O king, would want to come back in this world and keep suffering over and over and over and over again? Why you want to do that to yourself? You ever had a kidney stone? You never get one of that yet. The day you get one of that, you transfer all your business on my name. Just, I ain't had to tell you, just had to put the blank paper in front of you, go sign your name. But that pain will have you so dotish, you do all kind of stupid things. One little kidney stone. You understand? Remember, big stone don't do no damage, eh? Oh yeah, I could tell you about that. Small kidney stone is what dangerous. When they're dancing in your stomach, in the track, he just tell you how managed you think it is. He just remind you, you can't be managed. It says, it is your duty, O king, karamate na janamapi. It is your duty to perform karma without seeking the rewards. Kuruvi satatama karama. Offer everything that you do to me. Offer it. And keep away from dangerous people. Bad company from the time of creation has led a lot of innocent people to the gallows. I have a godson in New York in a place called Rikers Island. You know what Rikers Island is? The big jail. He's sitting in a bar as an 18-year-old boy in a bar, drinking a beer for the first time in his life. And a man running there with a gun and shoot somebody. And this stupidity, one beer gear, he's so drunk that when the police went to the bar and said, what really went on there? He said, that stupidity come here playing the fool man and I bust lead on him. Same Trinidadian slang, I bust lead on him. The American police don't know what bust lead on him mean. But they find out from another Trinidadian what bust lead mean. Right? And them have camera on them. So they have him tape saying he shoot the man. He's still in Rikers Island. Right since 1983. He ain't come out yet. He ain't get a trial for his appeal yet. He going to dead in jail. Since he 18 years old in 1983. This is 2024. You understand? 41 years now he in jail for a crime he never commit. Keep your mouth shut. Don't be stupid. Evil company will carry you down a road of which there is no return. There is no return. When you end up in a little cell, you just be alone. It'll be real nice in the day. Because people always passing and waving you out. But in the night, you just be alone. And to be alone in the dark is a frightening thing. Ask the rhyme of the ancient mariner, he will tell you, alone, alone, and all alone. Alone on a wide, wide sea. Never there was a man to pray for a wretched soul like me. You pay for things you never do because of your stupidity. You understand? If you don't want me to tell you that, hear what, brother? I will come and say a prayer for you. A lady wrote me one day from jail, one of my school friends. Where's Siraj? And you know who it is? Write me a nice letter. Babs, I hear your program on radio and I'm real impressed with you. Would you come and pray for me with the guitar? I write you back a nice letter. I say, not in jail. Wrong, man. I not coming there. And somebody fool you and tell you, Yahashatabara Patakara Joyi, Chuta Yebandi Mahasuka Hoi. If you get locked up in jail and you say the Hanuman Chalisa 100 times, you go come out. Really? Really that go happen? Try it, my friend. Try it and see if it does work. It don't work. It doesn't mean that. You're taking it literally because you don't know the science behind it. The science behind it says, Yahashatabara Patakara Joyi. It means not reading the Hanuman Chalisa 100 times. It doesn't mean that. It means when you pray to Hanuman, you should pray to Hanuman one time for a year, for 100 years. You think you're going to live 100? You ain't going to make it then. Then you ain't going to do 100 Hanuman Chalisa. Don't sit down one time and say Hanuman Chalisa 100 times, like the idiot in Diwali Nagar who sing the Hanuman Chalisa so wrong. You understand? My friend, says the fella sit down right behind you by your right shoulder. Just look wrong and take a look at him. He was going to sit down and sing Hanuman Chalisa day too. And my advisor said, keep out of that stupidness, boy. That is show business. That is show business. And this man stand up and say he's a Hanuman Bhakt and sing every line wrong. Come on, man. Come on. Wimel. Parcel and parcel. She's the one who showed me that. I said, girl, don't let me take your phone and lick it wrong with it, you know. That's what I tell she. On the baby, I tell she I will lick she wrong with she own telephone. Don't show me them kind of stupidness. I have always stood up against that madness. With the fellow named Raviwa, let me leave the last name out. You understand? Making a mockery of my religion, and I had to tolerate that because of what? Because what? He's a chutney king? Stick to chutney, brother. I would love to meet him face to face, you know, to tell you what I really want to tell him. You remember, where Shivan? Remember what the man tell you? He go eat me up. I say, eat me? If you eat me, you'll have a serious problem. You'll have more brain in your belly than you have in your head. So don't eat me. You can't eat me. You have more brain in your belly. You understand? Let me explain something to you. Let me give you a nice little quotation. And you won't believe this thing exists. Sabala na pucha na bhakta anudha. That if you do not ask questions, you are not a devotee of God. Or jawab neko sake na dharma. And without answers, that is not true dharma. The greatest fight for the human being is fought in the name of dharma. That is going to be your greatest challenge, your greatest fight. You really think the Mahabharata war was about Arjun killing Duryodhan? No, my friend. No, my friend. You have it wrong. The Mahabharata war was a war of dharma. That is what the Mahabharata war is about. The war of dharma. That is what the Mahabharata war was about. That is what Ram killing Ravan was about. The war of dharma. In a beautiful conversation, there was a beautiful, beautiful conversation that took place between Karan, real classic, and Lord Krishna the night before the war. How much children Kunti had, boy? Shivan, how much children Kunti had? You know. Right. Karan says to Lord Krishna the night before the war, is it my fault that I was born illegitimate? I was a bastard child. Is that my fault? Is it my fault that I went to the guru, Drone, and he refused to teach me? Is that my fault? I went to Parshuram, and Parshuram taught me. And yet, when he finished teaching me, he pronounced a curse on me to bring about my destruction. Is that really my fault? I was so angry that I just shot an arrow in the air for no reason, in anger. He didn't aim at anybody, he aimed at the sky. And that arrow fall on the back of the neck of a cow and kill it stone dead before it fall. Is that my fault? And yet the owner of that cow pronounced a terrible curse on me. Is that really my fault? A few hours ago, Kunti came to see me. And she finally told me the truth. But it's not because she loved me. She told me the truth to save Yudhishthira. Bhim Arjun, Nakul, and Sahadev. Is that my fault? Whatever I receive in this world, O Krishna, it came through Duryodhana. Right or wrong, whatever I have, I got it through Duryodhana. The charity of Duryodhana. How am I wrong? To take the side of Duryodhana in this war. Explain that to me. Lord Krishna, tell him, you think you are a problem? I was born in a jail. What problem you have? I was born in a jail. Fully knowing that death awaited me even before I was born. Because can't kill every child that was born. So death was waiting for me. My parents abandoned me the moment I was born. He says, O Karan, two things. One, if Duryodhana wins this war, you are going to get the credit. And if Yudhishthira win this war, I am going to carry the blame for it. Life is very unfair, Karan. But you know what dharma is. That's the answer Lord Krishna gave him. Even though life unfair, you know what dharma is. You have practiced dharma your whole life. Regardless of life being unfair, what is important is how you react. That is what's important. Life challenges does not permit you to move on the wrong path. That is what you have done. You're on the wrong path. And the truth is, Kunti only had 4 children. Not 5. She had 4. Karan, Yudhishthira, Bhim, and Arjun. Nakul and Sahadev wasn't her children. They were the children of Madri. So when they talk about the 5 Pandavas being the sons of Kunti, that's not true. Kunti only had 4 children. And the 4 were not Pandavas. One was Karan, and the other, the first 3. Yudhishthira, Bhim, Arjun. The really 3 sons she had. But she took the responsibility for the next 2 to make it 5. And a whole life she lived, disowning the first one. So that is what Karan said. Is that really my fault? So when you look at people in the world, and they're making all kind of silly and stupid excuse for the madness that's going on, that is not an excuse. You must have a sense of right and wrong. And that is what Ganesh is saying to Varenya. You must have a sense of something is right and something is wrong. And that is how you act. Act knowing if it is right or wrong. And if you so persistent, as samarata vidyante karamatena janani paha, why lead yourself to constant pain and suffering? You know better than that. You understand? You know better than that. When I was learning Hindi, in the Hindi book, Shishupat, fella stand up with a stone, and you're on the bank of a pond. And well, if you watch the picture, you could read the picture. The picture shows that he's pelting the stone against on a frog. And he's smiling. And the Hindi caption says, what is fun for the boy is death for the frog. If he missed the frog safe, you know. But if he hit him, the boulders go kill him. That doesn't justify killing it. Because the first moment that you kill something in your life, it will drive you to a second to kill something else. You understand? And if you cannot control that, that is what he says. It leads you to bondage. It leads you to pain. It leads you to suffering. Madarape yani karamani tani badananti nakwachitaha savasanna midam karama badananti dehinam balat. Those human beings that exist in this world who dedicate whatever actions they perform, tan badananti nakwachitaha, they escape this bondage. It is difficult to perform karma. In rough times, it's difficult to do the right thing. But it doesn't give you an excuse. Badananti dehi nambalat. It is not an excuse to do the wrong thing. Tasmad sakta satatam kadyam karama samachara. Asakto hya charana karama paramapnoti na purushavaha. The purpose of being born human is to get out of this cycle of birth and death. I ask you a question, Key. If you die, you want to come back? You want to come back? And if your wife wants you to come back? Well, boy, she right next to you, tell she lose out. You understand? Something brings you back. There was a discussion at the end of the Mahabharata war. And Yudhishthira asked Krishna a funny question. You see what Kali is going to be like? And Krishna freeze. You can't get Lord Krishna to freeze. Rukmini couldn't make he freeze. Radha couldn't make he freeze. And that question make him freeze like stone. And he started a cold sweat. He said, Yudhishthira, I want you to do something for me. He said, what is that? He said, I want you to walk down to the junction and reach where you see something strange and then come back. And Yudhishthira went. When he come back, he said, what you see? He said, what I saw frightened me. He said, well, tell me what you see. He said, I saw a cow giving birth. And when the young one was born, the cow started to lick this young one. Right? And couldn't stop licking the young one. And it licked the young one until it ripped off the skin from the young one. And it bleed to death. He said, that's what you see? He said, that is Kali Yuga. He said, how? He said, parents going to have children in Kali Yuga. And they're going to love their children to the point where they're going to kill them. That is what Kali Yuga is. You like that? Don't ever get like that, my friend. I love my children too bad. You wouldn't believe how much. But not to the point where I'm going to strangle them and kill them. That is Kali Yuga. People so overlove their children that they strangle them. They kill them. He said, that is what Kali Yuga is going to be like. Be very careful. This is not a nice age. Don't buy the story where them fellas just sit down on Singhasan and tell you, this is the age to sing and this is the age to clap and you go find God. You know anybody who sing and clap and find God yet? None. Not one of them fellas do that. That's not going to happen, my friend. If you can't see God and you go to the 18th chapter of the Gita, verse 62, if you cannot find God in your heart, you cannot find God nowhere else. You could clap holy. I have a feeling why they just clap, you know. They don't cook plenty food. So when you clap and your hand hurting, you can't pick up the food to eat. That could be the only reason. Clapping and singing have nothing to do with God, my friend. That's entertainment. That must not have a heart. That is entertainment. The Gita says that tasmar sakta satatam kadya makarama samachara. When you perform your duty, asakto hya charana karama paramapnoti purushavaha. The purpose of performing duty is to liberate yourself, to find God. That is what karma is, to find God. Clapping and singing is not karma, my friend. I do clap and sing because I can't do neither. My hand too hard and my voice like a rocket, like a old truck, a Bedford they call it. So singing is not my thing. Karamana sreshta vadanam chahamaya gyastana puraha yagyena hridayamesha kamada kalpabrikshataha. Varana sreshta vadanam. In ancient time, people Chahamna yagyasna pura priyaha had developed this love for what is called Yagya. To do a Yagya, you must have love for Yagya. If you have a love for Yagya, don't waste your time. I was telling Ajoda today on the phone. See, you could remember the days when you're going a Yagya and you lie down on a bag to sleep. All kind of thing when you close your eyes that bite you. Thing that not even existing in the bag that bite you. Bag is a material that has bite you whole night you're scratching. Right? But it was fun. It was fun. That you get up in the morning, 4 o'clock, and you run on in the pen, and you pick up your go bar, and you come and you leap in the kitchen and everything. That was fun. You understand? But there's something different about the fun, in that you took people from different walks of life, right? And they all come together for a common purpose. That is what a yag is. You see, so people had that love for Yagya. And through that Yagya, Yagena Hridaya Tumesha Kamada Kalapabrikshataha, a Yagya was performed when the individual understands what is his Ishtadev. That is the Yagya you perform. If your Ishtadev is Ram, you understand? What doing Shiv Puran will do for you? Nothing. It will do nothing for you. The same Shiv Puran will tell you that this is not for you. Surashchante nabrane dvam puraste pranayantu vaha labatvam parayamam stanam manyena prinanachtitam. When you engage in the performance of yagyas, the devatas who are worshipped in that yagya becomes pleased. What pleases them? Suraste pranayantu vaha. They are pleased with the offerings of food. I read one yagya in my life where it had no food. But I wouldn't know that until I reached the yag. And they hit me a classic story that they will cook and feed people the first night, and then they will cook and feed the last night. Okay. I sent an exponent the second night, you know. I say, you fix up, that is your kind of thing. You go clap whole day and ball. Not me. I will do something real stupid in that yag. Trust me. You understand? I'm not playing them game. The most important thing in a yagya is food. Now the debate come. Could you use salt food? Could you not use salt food? Explain something to you. Whenever Lord Vishnu is worshipped, whenever you take out a seed to Lord Vishnu, it could only have one thing in it. People say you have to put 7 grain and all kind of thing. But a seed to Lord Vishnu only needs one item. What is the one item? Salt. Namak. Because salt originates from the body of Lord Vishnu. Salt is needed. The problem is not salt. Don't get catch. The problem is not salt food. The problem is that salt food should have 2 things missing from it. Onion and garlic. That is the problem. People can't eat without onion and garlic. In the Bhagavad Puran tells you that if you're eating food with onion and garlic, is as good as eating the meat of animals. Onion and garlic is the problem. So for me, he's a vegetarian by eating onion and garlic. I say, you're not a vegetarian. Don't fool yourself. You don't know what a vegetarian is. Onion and garlic is the problem. So yagya is supported by food. And that food, which is offered to 1, the Hawan, 2, the Devata, 3, the devotee, Labatvam Paramamastanam. That food offering alone blesses that home for the lineage to continue. That lineage continues all the time. Manyonya prinanachtitam. And in the end, when you depart from this world, all of us have to die. It have no mantra to live forever, my friend. If they had a mantra like that, trust me, I would have known it. I would have dig up all them books. I'd have tell everybody have a mantra to live forever. If you want to learn it, come. Walk with a checkbook. So I go get enough to rally me for the rest of my life. And I get real rich. Says, you could see me paying $2,000 for a tabich. I so dotish, boy. $2,000 for a little piece of thing that costs $4. And a piece of paper that ain't worth nothing because you're tearing out a little edge from the paper to write the mantra. And man paying $2,000 for that. And I can't catch nobody to do that. I ain't lucky to catch nobody yet in my whole life. Nobody do bring no tabich for me, friend. I just buy my own tabich. When they come, I make it and give them it. How much for you, Bob? Don't ask me that question. Never ask a pundit how much for you. You can't afford it. You understand? Exploiting people. They're not the age for that. Offer that food that when you depart from here, prana nat stitam. Stitam means the abode. The abode of what? Manyonya. Manyonya means a place of honor. You will be respected all the time, wherever you go from here. If you go to the celestial planes, you will be honored. Ishta deva pradasyanti bhoganeshtan sutarapitaha te dasta tanarasate bhyodatva bungsataskaraha. When you offer food, the devatas become pleased. When the devatas become pleased, the things that you need in the material world to support you until death, they will provide the benefits of that for you. Lord Ganesh said, Te dastata naraste, we got everything from the celestials. Why can't we offer back something to them? If you do not offer back to them, then you become a thief. That is what a thief does do. He does take without giving back in return. Ishtana bhogan nivo deva dasyante yagya bhavitaha te datana pratate bhyo yo bhungte stena evashaha. Those who accept offerings and do not give back something in return, you are a thief. If I do a puja for you and you give me a seed, what I tell you to do? Anybody who ever give me a seed, what I tell them to do? Take out back something from thee. They don't understand why you tell them that, but why is neither here nor there, but you take back something from it. Some people smart, they say, I can take back the envelope. I say, go ahead. Take the envelope. I have no problem with that. But tomorrow when you wake up and one of your foot gets shorter than the other one, you're going to want to know why. And then you're going to tell people, I put my goat mouth on you. I don't have goat mouth, my friend. Trust me, I don't have goat mouth. I have learned a very nasty lesson in life. That sometimes when you check patra for people, you have to lie to them. Because if you tell them the truth, you're going to make enemies. If you only tell them the truth, it's trouble. You know people I tell they go dead? And boom, day, date and time, they cap out. They say, I caused them to dead. I say, boy, if I was so good that I could cause people to die, you really believe we'd have election in this country every 5 years? Never. We'd have election every year. I clean them fellas up from my side, man. I just do my job. Boom, this one drop down. Bam, that one drop down. I don't know the mantra for that. It's not goat mouth. Trust me, it's not goat mouth. Huta veshteshta bhoktaro muktasya sarvapatakai adantye no mahapapa atmaheto pachantite. When you offer food to the celestials first, there's a mantra you say before you eat. It's the same mantra. Everybody's supposed to know that mantra by now. Everybody's supposed to know the same mantra. It has no different mantra. It's one same mantra. And if you say that mantra before you eat, it releases the evil that exists in your life. It triggers something in you to do good. But those who adyante no mahapapa, those who think about themselves, whatever food they eat, atmaheto pachantite, eating that food is eating sin. Simple. It is simple like that. That is not science. Orojo bhavanti bhutani deva danyasya sanbhava yagya cha deva santeshta durapanteshta vedyataha. Because, wait, Kamal, you have any idea how life enters the body? You have any idea? And if you guess, you go get licked down right where you sit down there. Because you're wrong. Life don't enter the body how you think it does enter. Life enters the body through the mouth. Through food. That is how life enters the body. And that life enters into the body of both male and female. Is that complicated science? That it enters into me, it enters into my spouse. And when the time comes for pregnancy, the two forces, Prakriti, join together to produce a particular child. Whether you want a boy or a girl, that could be arranged long before you try. Easy. So food, life is created through food. Through rain, food is created. Through Yagya, rain is created. And to have Yagya is called karma. That is what karma is. It's a whole combination of a lot of different things. You understand? It's not just one event. No, it's not one event. It's a combination of different events that causes life to come into being. And then as life come into being, first thing you do, you want to share cigar. You ever smoke a cigar in your life? Not a good thing to do. Cigar is not a nice thing. You don't smell good. I'll give you a little experience I had with that. I went to a wedding in Miami, in a hotel. So there had a Cuban lady making cigar, rolling this thing and making it. So everybody gets one free. Other than that, they pay $50 for one. 50 US for a cigar ain't cheap. So I line up for a free one. Take two pull. Where Anil? Evans, remember Evans? Me and he were there. Eventually we go outside and take two pull, man. So I take two pull. I say, Evans, I want to ask you a question. Them duck actually walking on the water or the water moving? He said, I really know, but I want to find out either. I could swear to God, them duck and them was walking on the water. They wasn't swimming. I threw the cigar in the pool, That ain't for me. You understand? That's a deadly crime. But you know what? It says that Yagya, karma, food, life, rain, all connected together. It's not a one aspect thing. You'll break the spokes. So it's a whole combination that causes this wheel to spin. What is the one word for it? Prakriti. We come back to Prakriti now. Ananya bhavanti bhutani parajanya danna sambhava. Yagya bhavati parajanyo yagya karma samudbhavaha. The same thing Lord Krishna said. Food, life, rain, Yagya, all originates from karma. Brahmano Veda mutapananam batato brahma samudbhava ato yagyena veshasmin sitamama vidya bhumipaha. Through karma, the devatas are created. Know me, O king. Know me to be Yagya. Know me to be the source of all Yagya. All Yagya starts with me and all Yagya ends with me. And that is a unique thing. I'll tell you why. All Yagya starts with Ganesh. Right? Nice. How does the Yagya end with Ganesh? Ganapatira girijaya brishadvacham kannamukho nannadiya mukha dimma dimma manujamala trishula mrigaswacham pratidinam kushalam jaya mangalam. And then yet the same Ganesh Yagya tell you that if you complete the Yagya with Ganesh and you don't chant the name of Lord Krishna, then that Yagya is a complete failure. So it starts with Ganesh, it ends with Ganesh. It starts with Krishna. Every offering you make on Ibedi, you say Krishna Arpanam. And then it ends with Krishna. Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata narayani. So which one is the correct one? All correct. It's a whole cycle. It's a whole cycle. Everything you have to get it to fit together to get the maximum benefit from it. Yam tati yam mahachakram kameptabhyam vichakshane samuda prinate bhupin diyo krido damojanaha. People who understand the science of the scriptures, it is their duty to teach less fortunate people how to cross the cycle of birth and death. That is what this thing is about. That is what this is about. But samuda prinate bhutan, O king, people who only think about the material world and the material gain and the material benefits, such people are called fools. Foolish people. Sometimes you go puja and you sit down and you eat, you really pour your soul out. As you come home, you're vexed, you want to kill everybody in the house. Is that blight to cook that food and feed you? Simple. That's the reason. People who pray in every day, they don't really get ignorant. Well, there's an exception to that rule. Antaratma niya prita atma ramo khila priya atma tripto naro yasyat tasyarto naiva vidyate. Those who engage in the performance of karma for their spiritual upliftment are called the Lord of the soul. The Lord of the soul. Where's a beautiful katha in the Ramayana? Hanuman was going to Lanka. And when he finds Sita, he gives Sita the ring that Ram gave him. He keep that. You say, well, how Ram will know that you meet me? How I will explain that to him? So she take out a hair clip and give it to him. And tell him carry back the ring too. So Hanuman said, okay. So when he come back, he was so thirsty. Meet a sadhu by the river. And the sadhu said, listen to me, you have to wash your 2 hands before you drink that water, you know. Okay. So what do I do with the ring? He said, put it in the lota. Put the ring in the lota. Drink the water. Hanuman ready for the ring? He said, well, take it out, you put it. About 1 million rings fall out. Hanuman said, which one it is? He said, all. He said, how that possible? He said, your arrogance. Those rings represent your arrogance. What? Ram Bhakt can't be arrogant. But you are arrogant. That you put that ring in there and can't find it. You can't find the one ring you put. Every time you come here to drink water, you used to put the ring in that lota. And you're still looking for it. And if he found 100,000 ring inside there, how much times he went there? Not 100,000 times? So Hanuman appeared 100,000 times. Hanuman is not one. In the continuous cycle, he appears all the time. And it's a repeated thing. In the next Kali Yuga, Vikram will be sitting on right here by a Joda reading a Ganesh Yagya. Trust me, in the next Kali Yuga that will happen. The sad thing is all of we will be here the same way. Right here will happen again. Everything is a repeated cycle. If you understand the concept of Patra, the concept of Patra tell you that if I use today's date and I go back 30 years, every single day is identical to this year. If I go 30 years from today, everything going to be identical. It's a 30-year cycle. Check it. When you go home, find the 100-year calendar and check every 30 years, it's identical. Everything is identical. The full moon, the new moon, every single thing. It's a cycle. So if a fellow tell you born in 1924, and the pundit tell him, well, I have 1924 Patra. Check 1954. Check 1984. You're identical. And if 54 and 84 identical, then 24 identical too. It's a continuous cycle. It never changes. He said this cycle of worldly enjoyment never ends. So just how you're greedy in this age, when you come back, you'll be a little more greedy. You understand? You get greedier and greedier as the age go by. Antaratmina prita atmaramo khila priya atma tripto naro yasyat tasyarto naiva vidyate. When you become the Lord of the soul, you become happy by yourself. You can't be happy with nobody. You have to be happy with you. Then something happens in that Atma. Atma tripped. The Atma becomes satisfied. When the Atma becomes satisfied, Naro Yasyata means that all desires leave you. That Tasyarto Naiva Vidyate, you will always be happy. Always. There's some people smiling all the time. Yat swamati resyada atma triptashtamanava atmanyevana santushta tasya karyana vidyate. And if you are constantly happy with yourself, it means, Arjun, one of the basic lessons to realize God You have it walking with you. It's called contentment. You're very contented in this life. Well, you have no ambition. You don't want a better house. To do what for somebody to come in there and kill me? You understand? Be contented in this life. You have life. You have health. My doctor tells me I'm almost diabetic. I say, what does almost diabetic mean? Am I diabetic? He said, no. I said, that is good news. If I reach this age and I ain't get it, I have to bat in my crease. You think I'm scared of diabetes? Absolutely not. You know what I'm scared of? Says, you have any idea what you think I'm scared of? You know me so good. What do you think I'm scared of? To watch myself in a mirror with a syringe choking by my navel and giving myself insulin. That ain't going to happen, you know. Somebody, I had to look for plenty nose tailor. All you had to come by me every damn day the rest of my life and choke me with that, you know. But I can't see myself doing that. So, I am in position to prevent myself from getting it. Diabetes is not a sickness. Diabetes is a lifestyle. High blood pressure is a disease. It's the silent killer. I went to sleep in the night normal, get up the next day, board a plane and fly out, and had a headache for a month. Nearly dead with this headache. The doctor up there give me Tylenol 4. They just give people that for surgery. Headache still never go. When I come back, I have high blood pressure. I say, but doc, you give me a clean bill of health. He said, yeah, that's why it's called the silent killer. You could go to sleep and get it. Check your pressure. Understand? That one dangerous. But it's lifestyles. It's lifestyles. You know anybody love chocolate more than me? I am even the man who making chocolate, I like chocolate more than me. You know, sometimes you go wedding and a little function and they give you a little Styrotex container with ice cream. When they give me that, I throw it in the dustbin. You know? I throw it in the dustbin. When you give me ice cream, I must hold it with my 2 hands. You understand? A 5-gallon. I see they have it in a bucket with a handle now. Swinging like a ganta. Drop it on my lap. And I will mash it down for you clean. My son was here and he bring a little piece of cake so for me. I said, son, you eat it. He said, I bring this. I said, no, you eat it. He said, well, you want a cake? I said, you eat it now. You go see me eating a little piece of thing, so boy, get real now. I want half a cake, man. But I'm smart enough when the doctor tell me, hey, bat in your crease. So a Lego chocolate. I just had to beg for sugar now. You understand? Your life had to change. You had to reprogram your life. Let me give you the best example that I've ever read in my life about reprogrammation. In chapter 10 of the Gita, Lord Krishna told Arjuna, amongst the birds, where Arjuna, you have a Bhagavad Gita here? You're going to find it. Forget it. Tomorrow you go look for it. Amongst the birds, I am the eagle. So when I research it, India don't have eagles. India have hawks, not eagle. So why would Lord Krishna say eagle? Why that word eagle? So I started to research this eagle. You know how long an eagle does live? He lives 70 years. From birth to 40 years, he's the king of the sky. On his 40th birthday, his beak gets so long that he cannot eat. His claws get so long, he can't catch nothing. I got to look for the vote. I'll go find it tomorrow. And his feathers get so heavy that if he land in the water, he go drown. So he's suffering. So he leaves that place and goes to the highest mountain. And he had to hide up there. Because if hawks pass and catch him, they will rip him apart. So he goes into a crevice in the mountain. And he knocks his beak. For 2 weeks. Until the beak break off. So he bleeds from his face. And he waits for 2 weeks for that to grow back. And when it grow back, with that very beak, he pulls out all his claws. Bleed again. Until they grow back. And when they grow back, he rips off all the feathers from his body. Everything takes 6 weeks. You could survive 6 weeks without eating and drinking. He survives that. But when he survived that 6 weeks, he comes back with a new beak, he comes back with new claws, and he comes back with new feathers. He has reprogrammed his life. And that last 30 years of his life, he is the king of the sky again. You have to readjust your life when you reach a certain age. Of course I love ice cream. I licorice when it comes to ice cream. I don't care what you call it. Licorice, I could live with that. But I know now if I eat it, I go dead. And if it don't kill me. My daughter told me something when she was here. That if you get a stroke, man, how you going up them steps? That's frightening to even think about. You understand? That's scary. To see me dragging up a step going. That's frightening to even think about. So, I had a bat in my crease. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with me, you know. But a bat in, where Joe? A bat in safe. Find yourself. Readjust your life. Be satisfied with the life that you have. And be happy in this world. Find yourself. Be contented. Kadya kadya krita nasa naiva prapti shubha shubhe kimti dasya nasadyam syat sarva jantoshu sarvada. Continuously perform karma. Do not seek the reward. Because when you seek nothing, then you realize nothing is impossible to achieve. You don't want to look for it. It has come for you. It has come to you. Atma sakta tato bhuya karatabyam karamajatubi sakta gati na prapti mama apnoti natadrishaha. Even though we lack the ability. I tell people that all the time. Many years ago, I went cinema one night. Empire Cinema. I went that late night movie finishes almost morning. You're hungry to death, you know. It had nothing to eat. You know where Empire Cinema was, right? Penitent Street. So you come up Penitent Street, you come down the promenade, and you cut through Paradise Cemetery. That's the shortcut. You think you're worried about who dead in the cemetery and wake up in the night to hold you? Yeah, right. Next day I can't walk. I can't get up. My mother gave me a guitar. I still have it. So read this book. Oh, can't read this thing. Who write this? When your father come ask me, he go tell you. I tell my father the person who wrote the guitar had a batchak in a bottle of ink. And he take the batchak out of the ink and throw it on the paper and he scribble. And that's the guitar. He said, break it up. You break it up. He said, break it up. It took 40 years to break it up. It took 40 years to happen, to break up the guitar. But it happened. It happened in 40 years. You understand? Even though you lack the ability, that is not an excuse to do the right thing, to do the wrong thing. That's not an excuse. I can't do it. No, that's not an excuse. Try. Try. One of the few men who realized God saying God wrong side was a man named Valmiki. Valmiki never said a mantra in his life. Instead of saying Ram, Rama, he was saying Mara, to kill. That liberated him. Mara, 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 become Rama, 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 Rama. He liberates himself. But you have to try. You cannot give up. When I see in the papers where a child in the university commits suicide, my blood does crawl, boy. My blood does crawl. Last night when I said I will not do a funeral for a child that died, people think I'm crazy. No, I'm not. I cannot face a parent to have a child die. My level up, I will trip. The Swami has said, थोड़े से प्यार लगता है, बहुत लोग नफरत करते हैं, और सब लोग भय लगता है. Vikram is a man that is liked by a few, hated by many, and feared by all. You could see me handling a child funeral. You understand? I just wonder sometimes if a child ever sit down to think what a parent going through before you pull that trigger, boy. A bullet has no brain. You understand that? You could put a gun by your head and pull the trigger. I know people who put a gun in the mouth and pull the trigger. But if you're so well led to eat, drink Wasa water. You get all the lead you need. You understand? How you could fail. You understand where I'm coming from? So that is why I've always said there must be an open line of communication between parent and children. You have to talk every day. I don't care what you say. Every single day. You're busy? That is okay. Put on the phone. That line has to be open all the time. You have to keep that line open because you don't know what's going to. Life is a tough game. Life not easy. I don't care what nobody tell me. Even though you lack the ability, you can't be bad without the ability. You understand? If you lack the ability and you don't have good qualities, then you're in trouble. You could have good qualities, but you lack the ability. Have something good in you. But if you lack everything, you become a disgrace. Your life becomes a wasted life. The purpose of life, map noti natadrishaha, is to achieve something divine. If you fail to realize God, but you reach the devatas, you're just as good. When you come back, chapter 6 in the Gita says, you come back better off than you was. Paramam siddhama panana purara jarshayo dishaha sangraha yahi lokanam tadisham karamacha bhavet. The yogis have found the highest truth. Even though that road, Sangraha Yadilokanam, is filled with many obstacles, they have been able to document it, how to achieve what I have achieved. If they were selfish, they wouldn't do that. They have documented everything. And it is your duty. Tadisham karamacha bhavet. It is your duty to perform the karma, get on to the right track, and then move forward very slowly. Don't rush it down. It ain't going to happen in a hurry. You understand? It ain't going to happen in a hurry. Shreyana yat kurute karama tatakado kilo jana manute yat pramana mate tadeva no saratya sao. If you perform the highest stage of karma with the authority how to do it, you need a guru. I don't care what nobody tell me, you need a guru. Somebody tell me one day, they have children to christen and they want to christen the children with a young pundit so the them and the pundit go grow together. I say, listen, you dumber than the pundit. You have to be real dumb to do something stupid like that. You christening your children to a pundit who can't say a mantra, and then you want to know why this thing going downhill all the time? That is why. When the time came for my children to get a guru, I tell my daughter, make a list of me, all the pundits you know. The only pundit she knows is the pundits who she meet with me in Yagya. When she write that list, I light a cigarette and burn the list. I said, throw away this list, girl. You crazy? I won't even invite them pundit in my house. Go and talk to your grandfather. He chose a 90-year-old pundit to christen she. He was 90 years old. You understand? My son christened with the same pundit. He was 91 years old. Poor fella dead 2 years after. I said, that is okay. That mantra where he gave you, real powerful. Use it. Right? You christen with a pundit who younger than you, who ain't know nothing. But come and get real now, man. This religion is not about them kind of games, partner. This is serious, serious business. You understand? There's a beautiful verse Tulsidas wrote. Sant kahahiya saniti prabhu shruti purana munigao hoina vimala viveka ora guru sanaki yedurao. The saints and sages have written a law. The scriptures agree with that law. Hoina vimala viveka ora. Pure knowledge will never enter into the mind of an individual. Guru sanaki yedurao, who have a donkey for a guru. You understand? I'm not stupid guru. Stupid guru don't live in this age. Then well, this businessman, boy. This puja costs so much. You could see somebody doing that to me, boy. Charging me to do a puja. Charging me to do a funeral. That's where we reach. Kobo don't do that, boy. That's where we reach. It's a sad thing. People could make all the excuses they want, but that is a very sad, sad, sad thing. That they have never understood what the word service means. Now, Pundit told me that in New York one day, he don't like to come in the Monday, Sunday morning to do service because he don't get paid. And my only answer to he was, what part of service you don't understand? I could explain to you what service means, you know. Right? Why everything had to be dollar? You understand what I mean? That I doing puja for you so many years now, when you dead, I still want that china from you, boy? That's scary, boy. That's frightening to me. Then my mother died, a Pundit tell me when he come to do the mandara, first thing he walked through my door, first question the man asked me, where the gold? I said, wait, just ask me there. This a man I train, you know. I train here, you know. I said, brother, somebody give me a gold cover. Okay, let me go. I give him the gold cover. I said, go ahead. I said, but do me a favor. He said, where is that? I said, when you cross the gate on your way out, never look back. The way I mean by that, I said, then you go see something you don't want to see. I will rip you apart. I will destroy you. Anyway, in any function you see me, hide from today. That's where we reach. That you begging for gold. You understand? Read the Mahatma Gita. Read what it says. You want to danker a cow? You're living in a gated community. What are you going to do with a cow? Well, I go give Shivan to mine it. Half is he own and half is mine. Shiv, you take the backside half, right? Nice. That's where we reach. Trading on, you understand? What about the man who can't afford it, boy? What about the man who can't buy 5 pieces of gold to put in a dead man eye when he dead? And sorry, it's not 5, it's 9 pieces of gold. Read chapter 5 in the Gita. It's 9 pieces of gold. What about the man who can't afford that? You don't go bury him? You understand? Shreyana yat kurute karama tatakanyo kilo jana manate yat pranana mate teveva no saratyasao. People will respect you for the right thing. The right thing doesn't depend on people. The right thing depends on the right thing. Veshtame me naswadyosti kanchadesho naradipaha analam dashtalabdambya korave karama tatapyaham. Nothing is impossible in this world. Lord Ganesh says, and yet I still perform karma. I have no desire for anything, and yet I perform karma. Lord Krishna also says the same thing. Name paratasti karatabhyam trishulokeshu na kingshana na navaptabhyam varata eva na karmana. I perform karma because it is the duty to perform karma. Once you take an embodied form, you must perform karma. If you don't perform, people who don't perform karma, they're dead from sugar early. They're lazy. So don't hold in a hammock and rocking. They're 2 foot on the ground, they're swinging, and then automatically they lose one. The other swing at 1 foot. Then they want to go and buy track pants and track shoes to go in the park and walk. Hey, idiot, you have 1 foot, you can't walk. Where track pants could do for you then? You see why I never do puja on a Saturday and Sunday? You know that? I never do puja on a Saturday and Sunday. Where Joda? What Saturday and Sunday was about? 18 coffee and cricket. I in my cricket Saturday and Sunday, God had to wait. The only time he get me to pray on a Saturday and Sunday is in a Yagya. And I tell the judge man, I say, bat in all your crease, you know. Because if I not out overnight, me a rushing to come in no Yagya, you know. Although God had to wait till my cricket done. I play cricket my whole life. When I fed up, I play badminton my whole life. So all that prevent me from getting sugar so far. But then I stopped playing everything. And I still eating sweet. Next time, don't put no modak for me. Eh? Whoever make that modak yesterday, make it out of carnation milk. Not carnation, powder milk. I mash down that modak. And if you eat one, go for the second one. Mash he up too. Watching the two laddu, I say, see the two all you stay right. They are not touching that. I bad habit. If I eat that, I'll get diabetes, boy. Too sweet. I still perform karma. Nakorave ham yada karama swatantro lababavitaha Karishyanti mama dhyanam saravavarana mahamati. That if I do not perform karma, then I become lazy. When I become lazy, I expect people to follow me. Not going to happen. Let me tell you something. One of the greatest disservice Mahatma Gandhi ever did in his lifetime is come up with a word called ahimsa. That is one of the greatest injustice he did to India. Non-violence. Non-violence. Hindus by nature were never non-violent people. They will slaughter you without thinking twice. Gandhi made them how they was. Ahimsa paramadharma. Ahimsa paramadharma. And made them passive people. That didn't happen in one day. It took 40 years. And they became so passive that the British run over them. Now, when that partition came, and they started to slaughter Hindus in Pakistan who were trying to come back to India by train, people need to get their facts correct. That is when the Hindu retaliated. And up till today, they're still retaliating. Right or wrong, they're killing you first. My kind of people. You never see a good Western? Shoot first, ask questions after. You never saw the good, the bad, and the ugly? When you come to kill, kill. Don't talk. Don't waste time talking. Bullet, don't talk. You understand? You have to retaliate. I'm not preaching violence, don't get me wrong, I support non-violence, But sometimes you need violence to protect non-violence. Somebody jump in your house in the middle of the night. Where you go tell him, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam? Right, fix up. You ball Bhaja Govindam, not Vikram. Vikram is balling no Bhaja Govindam at that stage of the game. One of we had to dead. If you get me, I get liberation. I the classic about that. If I will break in my house and kill me, trying to defend my house, I get liberation, I die honoring my duty. And if I kill he, I wouldn't get punished. Take a chance and try to kill him. Either way, you're safe. You understand? You gotta fight and defend your corner. Na me paratasti karatabyam treshulokeshuna kingshana. Do not become lazy in this world. Bhavishyanti tato loka Oche chanana pradeyate Hatamasya masya lokasya Vidata shankarasya chaha. People will disgrace you when you fail to perform your duty. If you cannot defend yourself. I remember calling the police one night. Fella make an accident right in front of me and about 8 of them hold him and they're well beating him. I called the police, shocked me. They answer the phone. And they get a heart attack when they answer. I said, look, some fellas beating a man in the road here in an accident. He said, anybody dead yet? I said, no. He said, all right, call me back. You think I joking? I dead serious. You understand? If somebody dead, then they'll come. You understand? It's frightening. When you read the story about that brother and sister will get chopped up. Does it scare you, eh? It just scare you when a man in Maruga get buried in a box with the child lying on him. A 5-year-old child. That will frighten you. What else it could take to frighten you, eh? You understand? That's very scary. And these where you reach children dying at will, boy. At will. There ain't no guarantee when they go to school they're coming back home. You have seen that happening worldwide? One little 13-year-old boy running to school with a machine gun. Where he get a machine gun from? Machine gun, you don't have to aim. You just have to pull the trigger. And that magazine just Lego in lead. You have seen that every day in the world? And that is frightening you? Come on. Do not become lazy. You have to have the eye of an eagle. The eye of a hawk. A child is such a funny creature. He's like a bird. If you hold him too tight, you kill him. And if you hold him too slack, he get away. You have to know how to control that. That line of communication has to be open all the time. Asideyo dive loka nakadyam karamachedaham sankarasya chakarasyam pahanayami maja prajaha. When you fail in your duty, you create confusion, chaos, bacchanal. The world is not for that. Kaminehi sada kame gyata karamana karinaha Lokanam sangrahatadda vidvan kuryada saktadhi. People who perform karma without understanding what karma they are performing is a fellow who stand up by the doubles man and eating an imaginary doubles and telling the man, put more pepper in it. An invisible doubles man selling you doubles. You get nothing from them things. Bhinannatva mati hyada jnana karamaya charinam yoga yukto sarva karamanya pareyamapiya karma krit. When you perform karma through ignorance and you discard the gyan, the mystery, the knowledge behind it, he says you keep performing the karma. Forget it whether it's right or wrong. You do your duty. Do your duty. Avidya gunna cha betya kuravana karamanya tandritaha ahangakadi dvidana bodhi rahamakadyate yanobhavit. Nature will make you perform karma. And the more karma you perform, the more knowledge comes to you. That knowledge would lead you to the science. But if you perform no karma, you expect things to happen, nothing going to happen. Prakriti kriyamanani gunakaramani sarabashaha ahangakaram vimuratma karataha miti manyate. Do not be foolish. Do not be ignorant. Do not blame people when things go wrong. Blame yourself for not trying. Everybody has to make that effort to try to get this thing right. That's not my job to help you. Your job is to help you. My job is to help me. Yatastu vidyatamana vibhagada gunakaramano karamanam vishaye britaha miti matvana sanjati. All the qualities that you have is qualities that you are born with. Everybody born with a certain amount of good in them. Everybody born with a certain amount of bad in them. And everybody born with a certain amount of evil in them. As a child growing up, you ever hold a Jack Spaniel and pull out this thing? That make you a hero. You're a real hero. You hold a Jack Spaniel and pull out this thing. That make you a hero, that make you a hero. You're going to suffer for that one day. When you go by Jamraj and he holds and he said this to his come. You like to pull out Jack Spaniel's thing? He will remind you. All children do stupid thing. When you get smart, you understand? You prevent somebody else from doing it. That is what knowledge is. You learn from the stupidness that you do. And you could teach other people, don't do that. Koravanti sapalamakarama gunaistri bhira vimohita avishavasta swadruvo veshwabhinnan vilagyate. But people have become dominated by the gunas, the ability to do good, bad, and evil. If I do evil and don't get catch, you think I go do it again? You understand? You have to control two. Everybody have to control two. You have to decide which two you're going to control. And one becomes predominant. Either you spend your life doing good, you spend your life doing bad, or you spend your life doing evil. That is a choice you have to make. Nityam naimiti kim tasyat mayi karamaya de buddha tyaktavaham mato buddhi paragata mapnayapyunyat. Those who naimitakam means the pandit. Those who are pandits, who have failed in their duty to teach people, there is no hell they could get away from. They're going down their full speed. The duty of a pandit is to teach people. You understand? Share knowledge with people. That is your duty. You can't be a pandit and be selfish. Something had to be wrong with that. That is not the job of a pandit. Mai saravani karamani sansyadhyatmana chetasa nirashir niramamo bhutva yajyasya bigadvaraha. Karma means not seeking the rewards that are going to come to you in any case. If you're going to get it, why wish for it? You're going to get it. If you believe in your heart God knows everything, what are you asking him for? If you already know, don't ask him. He know. Anichyanto bhaktamanto ye mayakte midam shubham anutishtanti te sarava moktaste kila karamabhi. Do not be enemy with people. Do not hate people. People could only do what their ability tell them they could do. Beyond that, they can't do nothing. But if you teach them, they're going to come up. You have to teach. Make people devotees of God. Bhagavad Gita says the same thing. Kim punara brahmana punya bhaktarajar kaya statha anityama sukham lokamimam prapa bhajaswamam. O Arjun, why will I not love a devotee of God? A man who has knowledge of God, taking ordinary people and making them devotees of God, why will I not love such a person? That is the duty of the educated person, to take uneducated people and bring them up to that level. I'm not talking about university degree. I'm talking religion. Educated people take ordinary people and bring them up. Ye chaivana nutishtanti twashubahata chetasa ehante man mahamoran nashtastan vidimerapa. Those who have become corrupted through ignorance, let them sit down with a man of knowledge and let him show them the shortcomings that they have had through ignorance. And then they will come out of that ignorance. And then they will come on the right path. Tulsidas said the same thing. Banadaw pratamamahi sudacharana moha janita sansai sabaharana. I bow to the feet of that guru who has the ability to take away the ignorance that exists in me that is born out of ignorance. He has the ability to take care of that. Ye tve dambayasu yante nanute shtanti me matam sarvagyana vimurastan vidinashtaya chetasaha. The longer you wait to acquire knowledge is the more foolish you're going to be living. And you will get so sweetened up in that foolishness that even if knowledge knock on your door, you won't take it. Tulya prakritya kurute karamaya jnanavanapi anuthapi nachameva grahasatatra sudha mataha. When people who have knowledge of the scriptures start to twist that scriptures for the women fancy to collect. You know how scary it is when I sit down listening to Yagya or listening to radio and the Baba tell me these are good day, most auspicious day to go and buy gold. You understand? For somebody to come and kill me in my house, say it. Okay. Go buy. Gold is the greatest evil in this age. Those people turn to fools. And everyone that surround themselves is bounded by that foolishness. Teach people to find God. Let me tell you something, man. I still fighting for my mother Bera, you know. My mother dead 13 years now, you know. I'm still looking for the Bera, you know. My sister says she don't have it. My brother dead. I say, well, let my sister have it, she give she daughter. She daughter says she never see that Bera. Man, I let loose one day with the Bera. My sister say, I put it on the table and I know who take it. I say, I so dotish, man. You understand? We are fighting for a Bera. Really? What going to do with it if I get it? And you know I get the 2 and I didn't take it. Real stupid, you know. My nanny gave me the 2 and I put it in my 2 hands. And I show my mother, say, like, Hanuman, watch the Bera good, you know. Like your mother gave me that, you know. You nearly killed my grandmother that day, boy. You understand? Look what causing it. You understand? Look what causing it. You idam tute go hyatamam pravakshama anasuyave jnanam avigyana sahitam yajagyatva moksha se shubhat. You grieve for something that does not belong to you. Don't grieve for something that don't belong to you. You understand? It don't belong to you. Who are you grieving for that for? You could give me all the gold you want, brother. Me, I want it. I don't wear gold. My children, nobody don't wear gold in the house. I just wear that. Understand? And the doctor tell me one day he's going to take a hammer to break it. I kind of freak out one day now. So when I went back to see the doctor, he said he was going to break that to take it out from my hand. My daughter was sitting right next to me. I said, Doc, let me give you a piece of advice. If you had broken this, today, you would have been dead. Do what I mean by that? I said, I explain that to you in English. Because they're going to do something called an MRI. So they can't put you in a machine with this in your hand. I don't know what would have happened. You understand? I said, and you plan to break that, Doc? You say, I think you're that stupid. I credit you with a little more sense. You know how to take it out, but they take it out. But I would have eat him up for that. You understand? He don't know why that there. I know why that there. The man who give me that dead. And the man who give it to he get murdered. Don't interfere with things you know nothing about. It says, do not be deluded in this world, grieving for things that does not belong to you. That is when the enmity starts. That is when the feud, the battle lines are drawn. When you grieve for things that doesn't belong to you. Educated people, when they twist the scriptures, they create more harm. They don't know what they're doing to this religion. Saddesham cheshtaye swasya prakrite jnanavanapi prakritim yanti bhutani nigraham kim karishyate. Everybody must act on their own nature. Act on your own. Do not become enemies of life, enemies of humanity. Do not become those type of enemies. Shastra guno nija dharma. Believe in God. Have faith in God. Get rid of the malice. Get rid of the greed. Get rid of the hatred. Get rid of the criticism. He says, when you do these things, nothing could satisfy you in this world. Varenya Uvach, the king says, Pumanyat kuruti papam sahikena vimochate akshakshan napihe ramba prerita pravala divaha. What would drive the human being who knows what is right and what is wrong and still do the wrong thing? You think Ravan didn't know right from wrong? One day a Pandit tell me he will never sing the Tandava Stotra. Right? I say, why? He said, because the Tandava Stotra was written by Ravan. I say, really? And you wouldn't say that? He said, no, Ravan was a criminal. I say, the chant the Gayatri Mantra is here. I say, but the Gayatri Mantra was written by a man who was a criminal. Who do you think write the Gayatri Mantra? Was a criminal. He killed for fun. He break in a house to kill Vashisht. Stab him in the back. And he write the Gayatri Mantra. I said, we are chanting the Gayatri Mantra from another criminal. So what's your point? They don't understand the concept. Right? If you understand what the Tandava Stotra is, you make that Murti walk in real gap from there and running. But you have to learn it. You can't go on YouTube and learn the Tandava Stotra. Don't fool yourself. YouTube I make for that. YouTube is governed by something called copyright. So everything that you see there have a mistake in it or something that is wrong. To protect them from getting sued. And you learn the wrong thing, boy. And you're preaching the wrong thing your whole life. Because you can't read and you can't research. He says, get it right. If you don't have the ability, Lord Ganesh says, to conquer yourself, how are you going to conquer everything about the Supreme? How are you going to conquer anger and greed? Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhava mahashano mahapapa vidyani naiva vairinam. Rajasic that exists in people. This hatred for no reason. You understand? I've always said that. I was fortunate in my lifetime to live in the era when I had 4 grandparents. You know your grandfather and grandmother on both sides? You was one of the lucky fellas like me. Your children don't know that though. Right. That's the point I'm making. So I learned the game from small. How to put my Aja against my Aji, how to put my Aji against my Aja. I know how to play my Nana against my Nani and my Nani against my Nana. I knew how to play the game. When you grow up and you know your own grandparents, you know your own bloodline, what's wrong in this world, boy? You live to see cousins get married and they know this cousin. I see that already in my own eye. Bloodline cousin getting married and they know this bloodline. Because of Bera. You hate your brother so much. You understand? For Bera that you will buy. And then you and your brother stop talking. Your brother get married and live in one side, he ain't invite you to the wedding. He had children, you never see them. You understand? Your son going UE, his daughter going UE, and them in love. You understand? It's when they're going to get married and they say, but wait now, boy, real coincidence? How come your name and my last name is the same thing? Figure it out fast, idiot. Figure it out fast. Always bloodline. You think it's happening? It's happening right here. It's happening in New York. It's happening right here. Abritene yata maya jagadwashe jalam yata. This maya covers this world. The world is covered by this illusion. Rise above it. If you cannot rise above that illusion, your whole life, Tadakama ki lashkarut, will always be in darkness and doubt. Your whole life could be like that. Pratipatti mato jnanam chaditam satatam dvisha etchameke natarasa dushparena nashishyanam. As a foolish man will want to lie with fellas who could kill him anytime. You go lie with fellas who could beat you up. You gotta be foolish to do that. In the same way, people live their whole life in fear. They're scared of everything. When you're going to stand up? At what point in your life you're going to defend the people that who stand behind you, which is basically wife and children? When you're going to defend them? Ashritya buddhi manasi indriyani sati dashti tereva chata pragyo jnanatam mohayatyaso. This material world, do not develop a love for this material world, O king. This is not the first time you are here, and this is not the last time. You have always been here all the time, over and over. You want to come back in the same house to meet the same people over and over again? Come on, man, try something better. Indriyani mano buddhir syadishtano mochati etai vimohayatayesha jnanama britya dehinam. The senses and the mind and the intellect, that belongs to you. The body that you have, that is yours. The mind that you have, that is yours. The senses that you have, that is yours. The intellect that you have, that is yours. That which is the master of that is called the Atma, and that is not yours. So God has given you a soul, and you can't protect that. You can't protect the body you have. Because you drink it out, the liver mash up. You can't protect what he gives you. How you go protect what is not yours? Yastvani paranyastu tebyashcha paramammana tatopihi parabuddhir ratma buddhi paromataha. The body depends upon the senses. The sense depends upon the mind. The mind depends upon your knowledge. And your knowledge comes from God, nowhere else. So if you have no faith in God, you never get knowledge. Buddhe matmanatmanam sanstabhyatmanam hatva shatro yakarupam padabapnoti yapurshavaha. Use the soul that God has left inside of you to find the supreme soul. The mind cannot find the soul. The senses cannot find the soul. The body cannot find the soul. Only a soul could find a soul. It takes a thief to catch a thief. That's how easy I can put it to you. Use your soul to find the supreme soul. And if you find that supreme soul, become one with it. Merge into it. And when you are able to merge in it, Lord Ganesh said, Padamapnoti apunyavat. That is called the highest state of emancipation, of liberation, of moksha, of salvation. When you become one with it. You merge into that ocean. you become just like God. You don't become God. You become just like Him. You merge into Him. You become one with Him. And when you become one with Him, you have liberated yourself from the cycle of birth and death. Bolo Shri Ganesh and Bhagavan ki jai. That is the knowledge and the karma behind the knowledge. All will stand as we join together with the group singing the arati. Om Jaya Ganapati Deva.
Prabhu Jai Ganapati Deva. Vighna Vinashana Swami.
Vighna Vinashana Swami.
Sukha Sampati Deva.
Om Jai Ganapati Deva.
पार्वती पुत्र कहावो शंकर सुत स्वामी.
प्रभु शंकर सुत स्वामी.
गजानंद गणनायक.
गजानंद गणनायक.
भक्तन अनुगामी.
ओम जय गणपति देवा. सवारी.
कर जोड़े विनती करे.
कर जोड़े विनती करे.
आनंद उस भारी.
ओम जय गणपति देवा.
प्रथम आपको पूजत शुभ मंगल दाता.
प्रभु शुभ मंगल दाता.
सिद्धि होय सब कारज.
सिद्धि होय सब कारज.
दरिद्र हट जाता.
ओम जय गणपति देवा.
सुंद सुंदरा दुंद दुंदरा मूषक पर चंदा.
प्रभु मोस्तक पर चंदा.
कारज सिद्ध करावो.
कारज सिद्ध करावो.
तो सब फंदा.
ओम जय गणपति देवा.
गणपति जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे.
प्रभु जो कोई नर गावे.
दारू का कान भवती.
दारू का भावती.
इष्ट दिन सुख पावे.
ओम जय गणपति देवा.
जय गणपति देवा. प्रभु जय गणपति देवा. विघ्न विनाशन स्वामी. विघ्न विनाशन स्वामी. सुख संपत्ति देवा. ओम जय गणपति देवा. ओम जय गणपति देवा. ओम जय गणपति देवा.
ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव. त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव. त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव. त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, सियापति रामचंद्र की जय, जगत जननी श्री दुर्गा माता की जय, बोलो सनातन धर्म की जय. Devotees, you may kindly take your seats.